Bird.
Cancer.
Hello everyone and welcome to Sorta My Podcast. My name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human, and sitting to my left,
Mr. Bobb Collins, also known as the Bounty Hummer, the Bounty Hummer and Humper and possibly Hunter.
moving on from the failed new tried thing. Sitting across from him is
James Odle, Alpha Spectre.
Hey guys, this is where we talk about comic books, movies, news, comic book movie news, and other nerd
comic
shit.
book movie nudes. We
Well,
haven't gotten any yet, but when they do, we'll talk about them.
If they ever come up, sure.
I did read an article, the top 10 steamiest moments in comic books.
Hey.
Most of them were X-Men.
I have seen the leaked
I
Scarlett
believe
Johansson
that.
nudes, and they are glorious.
I absolutely believe those will belong to X-Men. Starting off, guys, we like to talk about the thing that brought us to the table, and that is comics.
That was beer.
Well, no, that was the thing that helps us deal with depression.
Oh,
Yeah.
fine line, man.
Guys, Odle, I know you're reading a bunch of stuff. I don't know who we started with last time, but let's go ahead and start with Odle this time. What are you reading?
I actually just finished up today. Mark Millar and Greg Capullo were... Or not Greg Capullo. Fuck. Yeah, it was Capullo. I keep it... whenever you want to say Capullo, you also want to say Snyder.
Is it Capullo or is it Capullo?
Capullo.
Okay.
That's from hearing him say it. So
Fair enough.
They were...
he knows his own name. So
They were working on a series called Reborn. Really interesting concept. After you die, it's actually an entire another life set in this adventure fantasy type world. It was a 6-issue miniseries, and we've come to learn that's what Mark Millar loves, is his miniseries, and that's what he thrives at.
and he's great at it.
That's all
He is. And this one, the better of a person, the kinder you were, the stronger and the better of a person of light you were in this next life. The more evil doing, like the worse of a person you were, the stronger you were in like the darker of this afterlife.
Yeah.
The final issue, we're going through and we learn of the big bad, and his name actually escapes me right now.
Love this book. Don't know who's in it.
Hey, I feel you.
Yeah. But
So
we
many.
learned that it was the guy who killed the main antagonist's husband in the first life. And so
that guy.
There's some revenge. Like, he fucks a lion-headed dragon. Like, guy's a total badass. And this final issue
Hold on. Fucks a lion-headed dragon.
Yes.
Actually has sex with it.
Does it show
Yes.
penetration?
No, but he references multiple times that he's going to go and lie with the dragon. So,
Go get that scaly pussy, huh?
no, it's a male dragon.
Oh, go get that scaly sphincter, huh?
Yep.
Oh.
So,
Hey,
like, this
it's
whole
Pride Month.
culmination of these 6 issues is leading up to this final fight. And I know you both are reading it, but fuck you guys if you're not caught up on
I'm
it.
definitely not.
No, I actually stopped reading.
I figured as much.
No, like, I want to read it, but
Not that I didn't. Yeah, not that I
Financial
didn't
issues.
want to. It was pretty cool. It was. I needed to make.
you just
some
figure,
room.
why buy it when you're buying it?
Well, I needed to make some room, and it was at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we find out the main antagonist, she's been gaining her powers as they go through this world, but they haven't really come on full force because she's still alive.
That what?
She's in a coma on life support.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah. The main bad guy tries to drown her,
So hold on.
succeeds, so she pops out of her coma for a second, gives up on life, beats his ass, ends book 1. So, Reborn is going to have multiple books. It's going to have, like, multiple different stories, which I'm fucking excited for.
I really want to get caught up because I'm getting excited for this, and I don't even know all the details from like issue. I think I only read up to like issue 2 or 3, and it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not reading it because I don't want to. It's mainly financial. I barely make it over to the comic shop.
Right. So,
I read the first 2 issues, and they were really cool.
yeah. And, I'm probably going to pick up the collected edition when it comes out.
Yeah.
So, I'll loan that out or whatever.
As
Definitely-
definitely usual.
Right. Great series, great writing, great art, this is a team that, like Snyder and Capullo, it's hard to beat.
Yeah.
Another one I've been reading, Iron Fist got his own series again, and it's been great. We're 4 issues in. He's approached by someone. His powers are failing. Like, his chi is leaving him. It's fading.
A fucking chi, dude. Every time.
So, like, he can't access many of the powers of the immortal Iron Fist. So someone approaches him after he's been through these fight clubs.
like legit fight clubs? Like, we don't talk about fight clubs? Yeah,
he's been in, like, underground fight clubs trying to, like, satisfy this almost bloodlust that he's been feeling.
He's chasing that dragon, so to speak.
Yeah. He gets invited to this island, which is similar to Kung Lun, called Liu Shi. And it's
a crossover.
Yes! They're actually a bunch of people who left Kung Lun a century ago because they didn't like how UT was running things, being biased, all that. They invite him there to participate in this tournament where he'll be able to get his chi restored. So he's been going through, and it's similar to the Battle of the 7 Capital Cities.
Yeah.
Like, I know you both have actually read that now.
Finally read that one.
And so it's similar to that. Like, he has to fight these 7 champions to get his chi back.
Is Brad Pitt one of them?
Yes.
It sounds like she's a lot like herpes. It just kind of comes and goes as it wants, dude. Like, it'll pop up, then go away.
As he beats people, he can take their chi from them. Like, that's his prize for beating them. And
has he not
$500 cash, and that man's chi.
So has he not been, like, fighting a lot lately?
No, he's been fighting, but the Immortal Iron Fist's purpose is to defend Kung Lun. He's been away from Kung Lun for so long. That's why his chi is fading. Like, that's why he can't access it.
That makes sense.
And that realization came to him in this issue where he fights his 4th opponent on this island and then gets, like, ambushed by 2 of them because the people running the whole thing are afraid that they're going to lose.
How's the art on this one?
I
wasn't
really
too big
good.
on the art on. Granted, I didn't really read it just by seeing it though. But the Power Man Iron Fist,
I wasn't either. Like, I read it because of what it was.
Yeah.
But this is really good. And one of the things that I really like about it is
I really dug the art in the Immortal Iron Fist that you.
Yeah.
It felt like it fit really well.
At certain parts, some of those books.
A lot of those,
like,
were,
some of the one shots.
Yeah, like where they talk about previous Iron Fists.
Those were fractions art. But this, it's a darker, kind of grittier art style, and it really fits, like, the darkness of this island. One of my favorite things about this series right now is during the fight scenes between him and these other people, it will list off, like, the different martial arts moves that they're using, and
it's like the 10-toed life kick.
Yeah, they did that in the Immortal Iron Fist.
Yeah, so they're back to doing that again, and they also incorporate, like, from where Danny has fought both in Kung Lun and in, like, New York and other places like that. There was one. It was like Subway Muggers Cruise.
I was like, it's probably like everything from like a fucking delicate crane swoop to like a kick the beggar that's asking for a change in
the hobo slide of stab.
Yeah.
But, like, and it's really cool seeing things like that incorporated. So, he's only got a few fights left. I think the next issue ends this arc. So I'm really excited to see where this is going to go.
Yeah. Sounds really cool.
It really is.
Is that the last of your books?
I'm not really caught up on much else that I've been reading. I'm a few issues behind.
Well, Bobb's going to kind of mix it up here, and I want to talk about what Bobb's going to do before he does it. So I'm going to go ahead and get through my comics first,
go for it.
And then we'll go into yours.
I was hoping you'd do that.
Guys, I'm reading, as per usual, a whole variety of things. The paradigm has shifted to the point where now I'm the one who's, like, caught up on, like, all the big titles. And one of those big titles I want to talk about is The Walking Dead number 167. Now, this is not the most recent issue, but it is the second to most recent issue.
Yeah.
And in this issue, we say goodbye to a character who's been around since the very beginning. In the issue before this, she kind of fucks up. And I think I've given away too much by saying she, but honestly, if you see the cover of 167, and it has been out for a month already, you should be able to figure this one out, but I'm not going to spoil it.
Say it.
No.
Do it.
Nope. I'm not going to spoil it. Definitely a love letter to this character, the whole book. Like they have each one of the bigger...
I'm trying to remember what female is still around that's been around since the beginning.
All the bigger names come by to say like what they think of her and blah blah blah, and like how she affected them. Then it kind of does take a little bit of a roller coaster ride, because about halfway through the book, and this is kind of a double-sized issue, we get a little bit of a roller coaster with another character. I'm not going to say who, but again, once you figure out who's died, you'll figure out who the character is. But you don't know what they're going to do at every turn. Like, they start to do this thing, and they start to do that thing, and you don't know if we're going to have 2 deaths, if we're not. This has been a really powerful issue, and I don't usually bring up The Walking Dead on here because lately it's been kind of par of the course. It's not been bad, but it's not been amazing. But this was a really great issue, and I think the thing that stood out the most is that there were no ads the entire issue. 0 ads, and in the very back of the book is a love letter to this character and to the fans from Robert Kirkman, saying he didn't want to kill this character. So many times he tried to find ways to stop himself from killing this character, but he thought that it was time, and he felt like it was time. And there was times when he broke down crying writing this issue. And it's a great little letter. I suggest reading it if you read this issue. I don't know if it'll be in the trade. This might be a special thing just for the actual one-off issue.
I think it probably will be in the trade, though.
I don't know.
Something special like that, I imagine they would include.
I like it when they include that in like just the issue. Like, it kind of screws the guy who missed it, but at the same time, it makes that issue more
and it makes
special.
the people who's actually keeping up with it week to week, that's there for that story every time.
Yeah.
It gives them a special little, like, exclusive thing.
Yeah, and there's so very few things that are exclusive these days. Really
one of the special edition hardcovers or something like that come with
the
extra
the little
sketches
slip
and stuff.
cover and stuff. Sure, I can see that, but not like the trade, like number 68 or whatever they're up to. Another indie title that I have fallen in love with all over again is Tank Girl, and right now they're in World War Tank Girl. The issue I want to talk about is World War Tank Girl number 2, which is the most recent issue. Number 1's not really that important. If you want to transition from Tank Girl Gold to Tank Girl World War Tank Girl, sure, you want to read that issue, but this one kind of catches you up on everything that's happened, and then it just gets right into it. And it's the most Tank Girl's felt in a while. It's hilarious. I loved it. The issue's called Escape from Cold Tits. And it takes place in World War II with the Nazis. There's this part where Barney is brandishing a machine gun, dressed as an ape, riding on the back of 2 British soldiers who are in a tandem horse costume. And she's riding into this bridge battle for this whole thing. Booga jumping over the wall, the guy is like, wow, you could really jump. And he's like, well, I am a fucking kangaroo. There's so many great things in just this issue alone. And it gets kind of serious for a moment there, like during the whole bridge battle stuff. So it invokes a variety of emotions, mostly humor. I mean, just on the back.
It's got a little drama, a little bit of banter, comedy.
It's everything you love from Tank Girl, for sure. And on the back, there's this ad for 100 crappy tank soldier set. It's like your classic, like, bag of army men type situation. It names off, like, you get 4 tank girls, 3 boogas, and, like, all this shit. Awesome. It's got a mail-in slip with it and everything.
I love fake ads and stuff in the back of these comics. Paper Girls has a really good letter to the editor.
Letter to the editor thing. Yeah.
You should buy another copy of that and mail in that slip and see if you get the figures.
Oh my cool. God, yeah. Wouldn't that be the greatest?
That would be awesome if they did that.
That would be the best thing ever. But anyways, definitely World War Tank Girl is one to read. And like I said, the first issue is not really that important, and the third issue is not out yet. So you could probably still catch the second issue, and I highly suggest it, even if you just want to laugh.
Yeah.
Like, you could probably read this issue alone and just get a laugh and know that there's more coming, because it's not like it cuts off the end where this could be the end. You have the option to continue afterwards. But if you just want to laugh, $3 is not too much to pay.
No.
The next thing I want to talk about is the Lazarus Contract, which takes place over the course of Titans number 11, Teen Titans number 8, Deathstroke number 19, and the Teen Titans special from this year. This has been a great story. Really, really cool story that is fueled by Deathstroke trying to save his son, who died during his battle with the Teen Titans back during the Judas contract. Yeah. During the story,
and I've heard bits and pieces of what happens to the story. To me, it kind of sounds like Deathstroke's Flashpoint.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, that is a great way to put it, because Deathstroke does end up with speed powers and stuff.
And travels time.
Another thing to take from this, and something I think that's been becoming more and more apparent with the books that he's in, is that Robin does not shine in it. And I'm talking Damian Wayne. Robin does not shine in this series of books.
The Titans books?
Well, I mean, the Titan books, Teen Titans books, he's been kind of rough. And
so Teen Titans is one with Damian on it.
Yeah.
Titans is the original team, right?
Yeah, the original Teen Titans, but now they're the Titans. That's yeah. I'm not going to go through the full list. But anyways, Robin has really, really pushed the lines in this one, so much so as stopping Wally West from the past's heart, taking a chance with time because he thought he knew how things would play out.
Huh.
Yeah, and that's not the first or last time he really fucks with things. It's really him overstepping his bounds. Like, he's really not thinking as a team member. He's thinking like Damian Wayne from when we first met him.
Like from League of Assassins.
Yeah. And Super Sons has been kind of the same. Like, he's just way too full of himself.
I've always read the first issue of Super Sons, and I love the first issue, but obviously I'm way fucking
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's only 4 issues.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
But anyways, Robin is not shining in this book. And I think it's a good thing, because I feel like this is going to lead us, through the Teen Titans book, this is going to lead us to the next level of Robin. Like, because he's already, in the first arc of Teen Titans, denounced the League of Shadows and his grandfather. He had an opportunity. Like, he finally got that opportunity to come back, to prove himself against his cousin and all sorts of other stuff. But he casts it aside, and he chooses the Titans, and he chooses what's right. But he's still pulling this shit. This shit doesn't seem like the Robin from the first arc. Maybe you can blame that on writing, but I'm going to go ahead and be positive and say this is going to lead us into Robin finally actually becoming Robin. The Robin we want him to be.
Yeah.
The Robin we deserve.
And not the cocky Damian that we've seen for fucking past.
Because he still says he's better than Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and I mean, just all the way up to the end of the book. The end of the book makes you want to read every book that comes after it. And I turned down Deathstroke issue 20 at the comic shop. It was the Lazarus Contract epilogue.
Yeah.
And I flipped through it, and I was like, oh, this just seems like it's going to lead us into the next arc of Deathstroke, and I'm not reading Deathstroke, so I don't care. Now I kind of wish I was reading it because of the ending of this book. In the ending of this book, we find out a life has changed forever. A Teen Titan is getting fired, and a big player in the game is quitting said game. So, to find out who, what, why, when, where, you're going to have to read this thing, but it's worth it. Like, trust me, I'm not leaving you high and dry here. If you read it, you will thank me.
Just getting the idea of Deathstroke getting Speed Force powers.
Yeah, I mean, just
I'm on board.
Speed Force Deathstroke is a great idea. Just
essentially almost like a follow-up to Judas Contract.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's
I'm down. Like, I like that they've been doing that a lot.
Yeah.
It's like almost like revisiting.
Well, I mean, that's been the whole Rebirth initiative.
That's what I'm saying.
It's capitalizing on the things we love that never got capitalized on.
And it's like, I mean, even
because they were always on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Like,
quotations.
I'm pretty sure it was an actual Batman title, not detective. But I mean, just little villains they've mentioned.
Yeah.
It's like you haven't heard in fucking decades. Like, I love that they're bringing back just like little things here and there.
Mxyzptlk, like popping up in probably the best story from DC Rebirth we've gotten yet, Superman Reborn. I mean, just that was great. I did not see that coming until like a certain point. I could go on forever. Those are the books I really wanted to talk about. I'm reading a lot of other stuff. I'll probably bring up Star Wars The Screaming Citadel here soon. It's pretty cool, but I wanted to get a little further in before I discuss it. Maybe I'll discuss it after it's over. But just a little,
like a full review on it.
Yeah, a little hint of that. It's Star Wars with classic horror. Yeah, that's a little intriguing.
I'm interested.
Anyways, Bob, what are you reading and what are you watching?
I've actually been reading stuff. Paper Girls, I'm pretty sure I'm caught up on. If not, it might be like an issue behind. I think I'm like 13 maybe.
I think issue 14.
Issue 15 just came out.
Is it 15?
Yeah.
I may have 14. I don't know. I know I just read the newest issue of Sex Criminals, but it's on hiatus, so.
It's been so on and off again over the past year.
I hate that, dude, because it's such a good book, dude. And like once you get moving in it, you just want to keep binging, keep reading, and then you're caught up.
Yeah.
And you have to wait months and months. I've also been cracking into The Watchmen. I've read it once. I read it once before, years back. It was like right before or right after the movie came out. I finally read it then. I haven't picked it up since then. And I've had a pretty nice like soft cover copy that Seth wanted to let me get.
Yeah.
And it's been sitting on my shelf for the longest time. Figured I'd start bringing it to work and shit. Like, granted, I'm only having just like a little chunk taken out of it. Because I just really don't have a lot of time to read. Like, I say that, but like, I watch shows and stuff. But shows are easy. Like, I can throw a show on while I'm washing dishes and throwing laundry in. Like, I can carry my phone around with me and watch a show while I'm doing stuff on that as well.
Too.
Comic I have to sit down with. Like, I like to sit down either in the morning, cup of coffee, or later on, like whatever. I have to actually sit down and take the time. But what I've been watching and I finally got caught up on is The Flash. And oh my God, there's so much in this season I want to talk about. There's so much in this season that I really liked. Granted, not the strongest season in my opinion, but still there was a lot in it I enjoyed. First off, the actor who played fucking Draco Malfoy. Like, I love that that he's in a season where there's an object called the Philosopher's Stone, which is the English version of the Sorcerer's Stone. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was the first book in England. So it's like, haha, that's clever. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and even like little things throughout just little things that like Cisco says, like, I can't remember what they were talking about, but he said, I can't remember what show, but he's talking about how spinoffs never work. And The Flash is a fucking spinoff. You know what I mean? And then Savitar. I wish I wasn't spoiled on who Savitar was, because there was a few points there where I would have been like, ooh, it could be this person. Could be this person.
I mean, it did.
No, it got spoiled to me. Like, I seen it on Facebook like fucking before I even started on this season on who it was. And even though it's who you think it is, but it's not really who you think it is.
Honestly, I didn't think it was going to be that.
Okay, my biggest thing was the death. I'm like, okay, since like they make a big deal throughout this whole season of this certain person that's going to die, I didn't feel like that person was going to die. I was like, yeah, like even the moment that's like when that recording is playing, the last like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 song is playing, it's like I was getting a little teary eyed, like, oh fuck, this is emotional.
It was Joe that sold it. Like Joe collapsing.
Joe.
Yeah.
Dude, yes, absolutely.
That scene was hard to watch.
The person who came in for the clutch and fucking, I knew that person was going to die the second that person fucked up. I was like, I didn't think it was going to happen that way. When he looked at the piece from the armor, I thought he was going to maybe like sneak up and stab a vulnerable spot or something. He's going to turn around and kill him before fucking, No, I wasn't expecting the fucking Ex Machina fucking shit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
It was
pretty goddamn
great fucking season. And of course, bring back Jay Garrick. We got Mirror Master, and I love how Harrison Wells from Earth 2 was talking about how his Mirror Master on their Earth literally made things in 2-dimensional, which was the original Mirror Master. I love how they're like, it all matters. It all applies. It's just on different Earths.
I think the Flash was probably the best of them, but almost every season on the CW that ended this year was great.
The Music Meisters episode was fucking amazing. Like, I didn't know how much I wanted that episode until I watched it. Now, speaking of crossover, the fucking Invasion episodes were great, by the way. Love them. It makes you want to get caught up on Arrow and fucking Legends, especially Legends, dude. Like, I knew that Snart died, but I'm like, fuck, man. Like, Snart's gone. Where's fucking Rory? Where's what's his name? Fucking
They have
I call him Rory because like I know him as Rory.
Nick Rory. Yeah.
No, not Heatwave. I mean Rory from Doctor Who plays what's his name? Who fucking owned the Wave Rider and started up the team. The Captain Hunter, whatever.
Captain Hunt.
Rip Hunter.
Rip Hunter. Thank you.
Yeah.
What happened to him? Don't tell me.
There's so much.
What happened?
That Music Meister episode?
Yeah.
after watching that, did some research. I already knew that Joe was
Oh yeah,
an established
dude.
singer.
Cisco, you play Cisco is an actual like pop star in another fucking country.
Yeah.
Like he's famous.
What?
Barry.
Yeah, dude.
Didn't know that.
Barry.
That's why
was on Glee.
dude, that's why everybody they got in that episode to sing are actual like good vocalists. Fucking John Borman, dude, from fucking Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And, dude, of course, like he's a flamboyant fucking
he
homosexual,
sings at
but
cons.
he does Broadway, dude.
Yeah.
And they got the guy that plays Joe is a fucking singer.
He was in the movie
Yeah.
Rent, and he's done a lot of other musical
dude from
stuff.
Supergirl. I don't know who he is, but the dude from Supergirl that's in there. He actually like he's a good vocal. Like
Mon-El.
Yeah, there's a reason
Yeah.
why they did this musical episode. Not only is it like, hey, you know, I mean, every good show kind of has a musical episode. You know,
Well, like I
Buffy,
said,
had one.
yeah, you know,
Barry was established. He went to school for musical theater.
He was in Glee.
Glee.
he was in Glee. Yeah,
Like, so I looked up some of his stuff from Glee. It was really good.
Yeah.
He's a cocky ass motherfucker.
but the guy that plays Cisco, yeah, he's probably the
Yeah.
most famous out of everybody as
Yeah.
far as musical goes.
Huh.
Like that's what he was known for
Yeah,
before,
before he
The
even
Flash.
started this. And
Huh.
like Killer Frost in this one, dude. Oh, some other villains they brought in that I was excited about. Dude, Grodd and Gorilla City.
I
Oh
was saying,
yeah,
oh
the
my
Gorilla
God.
City stuff, man.
Oh,
Wow, that was great.
King Shark, whenever they were getting the piece for the
Mhm.
fucking Speed Force bazooka, and I love how like once he's down in the fog, because CW has this really good thing where it's like they will spend a little bit of money on some CG, but just like small shots. So it's like,
But it's getting better and better each season.
and it is. What I'm saying is like they don't put too much on the screen where you're sitting there looking at it too long. Like, yeah, they could have worked a little bit longer on this. To the point where even when they knock King Shark out and he lays down and he's down in the like mist from the cold
Yeah.
that Snart puts out. Snart even says like, oh, this is kind of like Jaws, where they keep him off screen because they didn't have enough money and pretty much so shitty.
I love
Oh, like that is like I
reference.
love that they do that in the Flash. It's like they are very fucking on the nose with things.
Oh, have you made it into season 2 of Supergirl yet?
Yes.
Okay. Have you noticed how much better the CG is from season
Yes.
1 to season 2 from
I-
moving to the CW?
I did.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring something up about
And
Supergirl, but
seeing-
I didn't know where to place it in here. So I'll wait for just a second after we're done with this.
I'll say
No, just go ahead.
Just seeing.
I
I was gonna say
mean,
just
right
seeing
now.
Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
Like I seen I seen the clip from like when his first reveal and everything
Yeah.
on Supergirl. Other than that, I haven't watched Supergirl nothing
Like,
yet.
You
But
should.
like seeing him on that show, just seeing him and who was it, Vibe and like Wally, like I think it was Wally. I don't know. Just seeing like the group of superheroes on there, like
Yeah.
bringing Jesse Quick in this season, dude. Like this is a
Mhm.
pretty good fucking season. Of,
Yeah.
it was good.
One of the things that I've noticed, like the CG's gotten so much better on Supergirl. I'm just now to the point where Guardian just came into play
Yeah.
and saw that coming. Like,
Personally,
Yeah.
I like the Guardian as a character on the show. I hate everything about how he came into
Yeah.
the show.
I do too. Like,
'Cause
I'm
it's
like,
not the Guardian.
that's not Guardian, but I'm happy we have a Guardian.
Guardian was a first fucking responder at the death of goddamn Superman. There's a fucking reason he was popular for a moment, and you just glanced right over it.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
But like,
God
one of the
damn.
other things I've noticed
damn it.
is season 1, like everyone just straight arrow the whole time.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets to the CW, the first thing that starts happening, we get a lesbian episode 1. We get one
Oh
of
my
the main
God. And
characters
is it-
like questioning her
My
sexuality.
favorite fucking
I'm
television romance right now is God. What are their names? What are their characters' names?
In Supergirl,
Yeah,
Alex.
I know
And
Alex is played by Skylar Lee because I know her from that '80s show and another teen movie.
I can't think of the. Is it
yeah.
the cop?
Yeah,
Does she end up getting with the cop?
Yeah, she
Good
did.
for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Theirs is my
Like you know
favorite
her. Good for
fucking
her.
romance on TV right now. My
Yeah?
favorite romance on TV is a lesbian romance, and not for the atypical dude reason for liking a lesbian romance. Just
Did they
because
show them going
they're-
down on each other on CW?
Oh, no. But they
shit.
do show there's this part where Alex gets fucking kidnapped, and like the whole fucking episode leads you to believe she's gonna fucking die. Like,
Oh, shit.
it lays it on strong, and the emotions just coming between just those two characters. Not even to mention Kara, Supergirl, the fucking title character. Just the emotions from those two characters interacting with each other the little bit that they get to.
See,
is just heartbreaking.
Guys, I gotta bow out. I'm going home to watch Supergirl.
Yeah.
Well, it's like just watching this season of The Flash. There's a lot of things that I noticed, like drinking a lot. Like they were drinking in a lot of episodes, talking about drinking, talking about killing a whole bottle of whiskey. Dude, there was an episode where future H.R. Wells was talking about a fucking threesome while he's doing a fucking book read in front of a bunch of like
depressing and
there was a lot of like dude.
Or season.
There's a few times where like it was insinuated that Jesse Quick and Wally was about to go, see if he was the fastest man alive or not.
Yeah,
like, there was
like they've been.
I really wish we'd have gotten that full on Supergirl Flash fucking race.
Like
they cut that short.
A race or a fucking race? Because I want to see that too. Because could you imagine how fast that would be?
And they're both happy.
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Moving on in the future, because sometimes I don't always have. I'll grasp at something to talk about comics wise, and sometimes Odle's behind, and a lot of the time you're behind.
Lately, yes.
We could do like instead of like what are we reading? We could just say I don't know. We'll come up with a tagline.
What are we reading, watching, fucking?
Yeah, but it'll cover all bases. So how about that?
What other world have we been in?
Yeah.
What's on the next panel?
What's on the next panel? I kind of like that. I might workshop it just a tad because it's a little wordy. But,
you might tweak those nipples a little
bit.
But
I like exactly where that's at. All right, guys. This is the time when we rush off into the phone booth and get into some news.
Fucking hurt. Take that tie off. Pull those black frame glasses off. Squeeze those fucking underwear up over them tights.
Take the tie off. Hang it on the top of the... Wait.
Okay, the whole spirit of phone booth news is quick news, and you guys just drug out the intro like crazy. So, phone booth
Hold on, real
news.
quick. I am really proud of you.
Damn it.
I am really proud of you that you say phone booth and not phone book.
I've gotten used to it by now.
Yeah, pat you on the back.
Anyways, alright guys, phone booth news. In announcements, Dark Crystal Age of Resistance for Netflix has been announced.
Ooh, yes, I heard about that.
Don't know when that's coming, and the sizzle reel is out. It's kind of just a sizzle reel of some of the behind the scenes of creating the things and
is it
from
all
the
going to be
old
puppets again, or?
Oh yeah,
okay.
they're going practical
Good,
effects
good.
full on. It was very reminiscent of the Star Wars Episode 7 little behind the scenes thing, which was their trailer too.
Yeah, which I'm on board for.
Tom Hardy has been cast as Venom in the whatever the fuck that fucking
the one that's
movie
not
is.
tied into the fucking Spider-Man movie.
I like Tom Hardy. I like Venom. That could be cool. Deadpool as an animated adult cartoon is coming to FX and headed up by Donald Glover.
See, that could work on multiple
many varied levels.
Yeah,
if you don't know,
look at the rated R Spawn.
Yeah,
animated, great.
If you don't know who Donald Glover is, he's been cast as Lando in the recent Star Wars Han Solo movie,
Shocker.
And he is a big old member of the Community cast. So check him out in those things.
He's also casted in Homecoming.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's right. He is in Homecoming. Doomsday Clock is the next big rebirth event coming to DC Comics.
Watchmen? Doomsday?
Oh yeah.
By the way, I haven't read it. Part 4.
What it specifically entails is not said yet, but it's been advertised. Doomsday Clock is the next event. Supernatural and Scooby-Doo are going to have a crossover in season. Wrap your mind around this. Season 13 of Supernatural, which
I heard
just
correctly
awesome.
that this is going to be the last season.
Well, they said that 2 seasons ago, so who knows?
Oh, yeah.
They're wanting to. I know that Jensen Ackles.
It'd be a fun
and
number
Jared,
to end on for Supernatural.
Yeah,
13,
I know that Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki are wanting to go to at least 300 episodes, which I think would lead them into the 14th season. So, they're trying to push it towards that, and then they'll feel like maybe it's time we wrap this up. And they've said that in several interviews. But anyways, yes, I love this. I loved the episode where they go to an alternate universe where they are...
Are they puppets?
They are actors named Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki on a show called Supernatural. And I loved it. That was just the best episode. So I'm really looking forward to this. In just awesome news, Stephen Amell did American Ninja Warrior recently. And
I saw that.
And just like he brings to the Arrowverse, the Berlantiverse, it was funny and entertaining
Dude, and he
and
kicked
action
fucking
And he
ass.
did. He kicked ass. He went
Dude.
on to do more stuff than he was originally scheduled to do.
I don't know how old it is, but have you seen the Supergirl stunt woman do it? Dude,
Yeah,
she was the
I heard
first
about
female
it.
completely like finished and stuff. Like, dude,
I heard about it, and I might have to check that out after seeing Stephen Amell. Deadpool had a blooper reel come out that infuriates me because what the fuck happened to this shit being on Blu-rays and DVDs? Because I bought
from
the
the
Blu-ray.
first movie.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I bought the Blu-ray. This shit isn't in there, so what the fuck? But it is pretty funny, so I mean, I still say check it out. Then I saw this Force Awakens mashup. It's set to the Friends intro, and it's got like Rey and Luke and everything. It's
two of
the
your favorite
Friends
things.
intro with Force Awakens. Now, all of these I'm going to leave links down below so you can check them out, but that was hilarious. Moving on into trailers, Blood Drive, which is this super gory B-horror show coming to Sci-Fi. Yeah, it's out there, man. I honestly don't know if I'll be able to get through it because I hate anything that involves babies, and this fucking trailer kind of implies that there's definitely going to be some baby shit. So I may not make it through, but I'm definitely going to start it because I do like B-horror.
Yeah.
I like to laugh at it. So another trailer that came out, another show, Game of Thrones. You might have heard something about this one.
What is this Game of Thrones you speak of?
It's like musical chairs.
It's
Oh, okay.
a little bit. Everything's coming to a head in this season, including an extra long final episode. That's at least that's what they've said. We don't know if it's going to be like 2 hours or more, but
Isn't this season supposed to be a little shorter than the other
yeah,
ones?
7 episodes. Yeah, everything is finally coming together. Blade Runner 2049 had a trailer come out. Looks pretty cool. I've seen the movie a whole 3 times. I've enjoyed it, but there's really only so many things I can tell you about it. So I might have to watch it again to get a real scope of Blade Runner 2049, and you can kind of see in this trailer Harrison Ford's age showing through. So I'm a little leery, but it doesn't surround Harrison Ford. It's Colin Farrell, I think.
No, it's not Colin.
It's not Colin Farrell.
I can never think of.
We don't
his
have
name.
time. We've only made it to the pants.
That one dude from Drive.
Yeah. Anyways,
Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling. Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. Ryan Gosling is our main character in this film, and it looks pretty cool. Just for a sci-fi movie, just unobjectively as a sci-fi movie. Batman and Harley Quinn finally had an actual trailer that came out.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
The only thing
forgot about that
I
thing
don't
existed.
like is the voice of Melissa Rauch's Harley Quinn.
Didn't we talk about this before?
Maybe, I don't know.
Who's
but-
Melissa Rauch? Why isn't
She is Bernadette from The Big Bang Theory. She's Wolowitz's wife.
Why isn't Tara?
They got like 90% of the original cast, but they don't have Tara Strong. Anyways,
Tara Strong or Arlene?
Black Lightning also finally had its first trailer.
Saw that.
Very
Yeah.
Luke Cage-ish.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the feel I'm getting from it. But it does look cool. I think it's pretty awesome. Is that coming to the CW?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, I think
so
so,
that
yeah.
is
Yeah.
hopefully going to be a
CW
part
is
of
just
the
going to be
Berlanti.
like DC TV.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Hopefully that's going to be part of the Berlanti-verse.
I think it is.
But it looks really good. And I liked it. But coming out of the
You know what I
phone
like
booth-
about it? Real
What?
quick. CW is known for like all these young, nice looking young fucking dudes. This is an older dude.
Yeah.
He's so good looking
Yeah,
guy, but
all
like he's got some gray. I dig it.
All right, now coming out of phone booth news, we're transformed into more knowledgeable nerds, ready for new and exciting topics.
I'm sorry.
I cannot laugh.
I was
But
about
I
to be
wrote
like,
that down. It sounded
No.
so good in my head.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Edit this out too. And another trailer we've got is Black Panther trailer, but I'd like to go into this more detailed, not a phone booth news type situation. This has been anticipated for a while.
And as I thought this was going to take it looks like it's going to take place a lot in Africa, a lot in Wakanda.
Well, yeah.
And that's one thing I do like about the DC or the Marvel movies is that a lot of these kind of feel like it's their own, like Captain America was the war movie.
Mm.
You know, we had Captain America 2 was the espionage movie. Like we have all these different, like the heist movie was Ant-Man. This is going to be like I don't know. I feel like almost like a blood diamond mixed with fucking. I don't know. Like,
well, it definitely has its own feel, and I feel like that's what Marvel's kind of been doing a lot lately since Guardians of the Galaxy. It was trying to introduce new elements, and
what better way with Wakanda?
Guardians of the Galaxy was.
I see what you mean there. Vibrating.
Guardians of
I
the.
get it.
All right, guys.
Fucking
okay,
puns.
went over my head at first. I get it though.
I don't know if that's intentional.
Guardians of the Galaxy has the intergalactic space type stuff covered. Doctor Strange brought in the Mystic. Now we've got foreign, is the best way I can seem to put it. The foreign element of...
It's foreign, but it's also... You could almost call it borderline futuristic because of just how it is.
Like,
ships
the actual
fly,
city of Wakanda looks very...
It looks mismatched. Like,
yeah, almost.
It is, though.
Futuristic mixed with old world,
almost
ancient and primitive and stuff. And yeah, it is, but that doesn't necessarily make it new. That makes it blend. They've got that ship that flies up. That's nothing we haven't seen before. Like, honestly, I don't think we're getting anything we haven't seen before. I think we're getting it in a new setting.
We got to see Johnny Storm with dreads.
What?
Michael
Chris
B. Jordan.
Evans? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right, Michael B. Jordan. See, now, if you're going to bring Fantastic Four up, of course I'm going to forget completely about
because
the last
I never
one.
watched it.
I did.
I haven't watched it a
while back. It's as bad as
You haven't watched the first one? Is that what you said?
I haven't watched Fan for Stick.
Okay, yeah. I haven't either.
It looks like a really good movie. It looks like one of those... If you took a typical Marvel hero and put them in this much more dire and much more hostile environment, this is what they would be. Especially as a leader, especially if they were bred into this. Because that's what the Black Panther is. The Black Panther isn't someone who stumbled upon a suit. They're someone who was bred to be royalty, and that royalty is tasked with protecting Wakanda. Yeah. That's a really cool element, and is something we haven't seen from Marvel MCU yet.
The closest we got is kind of an Iron Fist, like, and it wasn't something that he knew from birth, but it's something that he knew for years that he was working his way up to.
And
that was like, if he passes, it wasn't like this is going to be handed.
Had they played it closer to the comics, that would have came across a lot more. Which, FYI, I didn't want to include it as a real topic in the show, but I did see an article, and I read it, and I can't hold it to definitely this is what's going to happen, but someone has said that the Netflix shows are eventually going to cross over with the MCU.
It would be stupid.
Not the way that we want.
Talking about.
Like they're not all going to be fighting in Infinity War.
Yeah. We're probably never going to see Daredevil standing next to Captain America, but eventually they are supposed to.
Yeah.
It's not
because the shows recognize the movies. The movies still haven't recognized the shows.
Yeah.
And that's not just the Netflix shows, but it's like.
If the movies would just recognize the shows, I'd be alright.
That'd be enough.
Like, that's enough for me.
Mention the Devil of Hell's Kitchen just once and something.
Or talk about what Coulson's been up to.
Exactly.
They kind of almost did in Avengers Age of Ultron, but they also didn't. So, yeah, Black Panther looks really cool. And speaking of really cool and very different... That leads us to I think the big story of the night. We've got a few different ones after this, but Wonder Woman. That fucking shit came out. Bob, you gonna lead for this?
I'm gonna step outside and smoke while you guys talk about this because I've still yet to watch it. I'm trying to watch it this week.
I don't think we're really gonna do spoilers, but go ahead and grab a cigarette while we do this. Yeah.
And this is definitely a movie that I'm anticipating and want to watch. So I don't want you to.
Well, there may be a few things brought up that are spoilery-ish. So, just giving them the warning of spoilers because I may drop a few names.
About how much time should I give you guys?
I don't know. Maybe 15 minutes?
Yeah, I'll check
it. Anyways, so just before we get into this, potential spoilers, but we won't ruin anything huge. There are some plot twists in this.
Like, there are plot twists and stuff. Like, I'm going to talk about some characters that are mentioned very early on.
Yeah. Which brings us to our first part of the topic, characters and actors. How did you feel about the way that the characters were portrayed and the way that the actors portrayed them.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say that I adored young Diana. I thought that that was a great portrayal of how like a young Amazonian would be growing up.
I did note that the accent was so good comparatively to like her grown-up self. A similar thing happened in Rogue One with young Jyn Erso. Oh, man, they couldn't have cast more perfectly.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, I really appreciated that. And, you know, the thing you see in the trailer, you know, how about just a shield, no sharp edges, but just the burning desire in that child wanting to
be a warrior.
And she could convey that. Like, such a young actress being able to convey something like that. Like, they picked a really good one for that. But, like, just Gal as Wonder Woman, you know, Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Chris Pine. Like, I loved his character.
Steve Trevor.
Yeah. Like, that whole ensemble I felt was great.
Yeah.
Like, all of their interaction. The Scotsman, can't think of his name. But he was probably my favorite out of that whole group.
Really?
Yeah.
He's kind of annoying to me.
Well, he was, but I kind of dug it. Like, I liked his character. Like, there was a bit of like, not really sympathizing, but like, he was dealing with some inner demons. You never know when something like that's going to affect you.
How did you feel about Dr. Poison?
Not having, like, really any prior knowledge of this character.
Yeah.
I liked her. You know, I knew that, like, the face was fucked up under there. Like, under the faceplates. That was kind of a given because of the faceplates. Just this burning desire to destroy. Like, this need to make, like, the ultimate biological weapon.
Yeah.
Came across really well. And, like, the pairing with that Colonel, General, whatever the fuck he was.
Ludendorff.
Yeah, Ludendorff. See, you remember all these names.
Well, I did take a bunch of notes and I memorized some shit.
Yeah.
I attacked it very professionally.
Yeah.
Or as professionally as I could.
The teamwork and camaraderie there, like, you could see a yearning for his approval in her, and you could also see in him just the simple, you are a pawn, you're a tool for me to get to my greater end.
Yeah. I agree with you on the young actress. She was really good. I liked her. I feel like disappointment was a problem that she had, like displaying disappointment maybe.
Yeah.
But the eagerness to become that warrior, to join in with the other Amazons, to find her place was really prominent in her, and yeah, that was really good. However, I do, and maybe not so much with the little girl, but definitely with teenage to young adult Diana, I wish we'd have spent more time with her training. Otherwise,
it goes through it so fast.
Yeah. Otherwise, character-wise, I like Diana Prince or Diana Princess of Themyscira, which they do. They do manipulate that during the movie.
Yeah.
Chris Pine. I'm starting to worry that Chris Pine is just Chris Pine in films. With the first Star Trek movie, there are a few moments where you can see he's channeling Shatner. There's the moment during the Kobayashi Maru where like it's just pure fucking Shatner, and I love it. But all in all, I felt like he was making that role his own. Now I'm starting to see, the more I see him in other stuff, because I've seen him in Hell or High Water as well, and with a really great film. But that mixed with Star Trek, mixed with this, I'm starting to see that there's a baseline Chris Pine, and he builds off of that. And this feels like fucking Captain Kirk if he were a World War I pilot who found Themyscira.
Okay, I could see where that's coming from.
And that's not to say it's bad. Like he fits into the movie perfectly fine like that. But I feel like it's going to be a problem moving on with Chris Pine's career. So
it could be.
As far as the character goes, I liked it. As far as an actor goes,
no,
you need to watch that shit.
Now, how did you feel about some of the interactions between him and Diana?
Depends on the interaction.
Let's start with some of their more awkward interactions.
Well, we could talk about the sex scene or the lack thereof.
Well,
That's
let's go earlier in the movie
pretty early in the movie.
when he's in the glowing pool.
Yeah.
And stuff,
Oh, okay.
and you know, talking about, well, I'm above average.
Yeah.
You could say.
Are you an average male? Yeah, of yours. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was a really cool. First of all, Chris Pine, totally fucking jealous of that body, and I'm pretty fucking proud of what I got. Like that picture I was talking about posting on Facebook. Yeah, I'm still flirting with posting that photo. Anyways, totally jealous of that shit. And then he makes there's that moment, and I can't remember exactly what's being said at the time, but like, you know, he's trying to do modesty and he's holding himself and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of like he's reading the situation. You
And
can
he just
see
lets
him,
go.
You can see him reading the situation. He slowly lets go. Like, what's gonna happen? The more and more penis I reveal.
Yeah.
Like,
And then like there was that, and then like the next awkward scene between them is on the boat.
yeah, they're talking about sex and stuff, which does bring me into another point. She starts talking about all this literature that she read about sex and reproduction and stuff, and all that literature. Yet she doesn't know CPR because when she pulls Steve Trevor onto that beach, she doesn't do anything. She just sits there, and he kind of just gets over drowning. It's like, oh, I'm so over drowning. I'm better. Yeah, like, how does she not know that, or how to enter a revolving door just by looking at it and going, oh yeah, my fucking shield is wider than this, kind of probably can't go through the revolving door. Like,
I think some of that is supposed to translate into like her cultural.
yeah,
upbringing.
I know it's supposed to go that way, but she's obviously shown as a very intelligent girl.
Yeah.
A very intelligent woman.
Like all of the different languages. she
And
can
so
speak.
when she encounters a door that she's seen revolving, that she's seen how it works as people are going through it before she goes, why would she be that stupid? I get why it's there. It's for the laugh, and it was funny.
Yeah.
But
Thinking about it.
yeah, when you think about it, it's why the fuck would she make that mistake?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So yeah, like their interactions vary depending on the moment. My favorite interactions of theirs are during fight scenes.
Yeah.
Where it is obvious, and this plays more to Steve Trevor than it really does Wonder Woman, because a lot of people would argue that this is like a highly feminist film, and it's not, because when it does portray the man's role, it's Wonder Woman's in battle. She's kicking ass. She doesn't fucking need anyone's help, and that's obvious during the fight. But there are these moments where Steve Trevor does join in, or maybe someone else does join in, and it's usually a man, while she didn't need it. And even if she had taken the attack, she'd have been fine, but she appreciates that man's interaction. She appreciates their willingness to put themselves in danger to help fight by her side.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I think that was my favorite interactions between them, is when he joins into a fight to help her when she doesn't really need it.
Like
when he knows that she has to go fight Ares, but this bomb is still going to go off. Somebody's got to take care of this bomb, and he decides that it's going to be him.
Or like one of my favorite scenes is her walking across the battlefield in no man's land.
Yeah.
And she starts making that charge, and he's like, well, fuck, let's go, guys.
Yeah.
And she's out there pushing with her shield, and he starts the charge right behind her. So, I mean, not only is he there as a seeming teammate, he's also there to help support her and back her up in what she's doing.
Yeah. Now, my thoughts on Dr. Poison are, early on, I feel like you can see where there's some sort of passion for what she does, some sort of morbid passion, but ultimately she feels like she's being pushed to the background because she isn't the main villain of this film. But she's pushed to the background, and it feels like the actor knew it, and they just stopped trying at some point. And it also feels like the writers stopped trying because I noticed this right from the moment it happened. She's sitting there and she's telling him about how she's been working all night. She's got nothing. And usually this would be the point where someone would say something, the scientist would see something, and they'd have an epiphany. All that fucking happens is the wind blows a little bit and knocks one of her fucking little balls of paper sideways.
Keep in mind, guys, we said spoilers just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
At the end, when Ares is talking about how he's done little things here and there to manipulate people, that's one of the things that he did. He pushed that to her to give her like that.
That's well and fine, and I did kind of miss that. Yeah. I'll admit that, I didn't take that into consideration. But taking that into consideration, more than one ball of paper moved around. And none of them had anything they were ball wads. Nothing obvious was showing on them. But she picks up one specific one, looks at it, and is like, "Holy shit! I've got the whole thing now." It just seems too fucking
lazy.
It's really lazy.
Yeah,
it's really fucking lazy.
That was kind of my thought when that scene happened. I'm like, so something that she wrote down and was like, nah, that won't work. Yeah. All of a sudden, now it works. Right. And then, they made better sense and better use of it later by showing that it was Ares that manipulated that into...
And Ludendorff was another one that I felt was kind of lazy. I get it. He's supposed to be, your evil Nazi guy. He's the evil Nazi guy. But... are you also supposed to be a moron? Because I assumed you were supposed to be an evil genius, but you've been informed that you're running low on food, you're running low on guys. You don't have enough to fend off a full-on assault whatsoever. And then you kill the guy who tells you, even though you're running low on guys. Seems like a shitty misstep to me. And then he kills all those other generals and stuff because they're going to sign the treaty. Even if they signed it, what does it matter? It doesn't affect his plan. He wasted poison. He has almost zero resources. He has very little people to work with. And it seems like he's burning through it just because he's evil. And that seems lazy to me too.
Yeah.
So, honestly, given the bad guys we were given, the challenge of this film is kind of lost on me up until the last fight with Ares,
which
you don't even really get Ares till the end. So.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. What are our other topics before I tangent on this?
We should probably keep it short. Yeah.
Okay, to try to keep it short, my whole time watching this, I thought that he was almost like a double agent.
Yeah.
I kept thinking...
I see where you're going with this. Let's not go into that. Because I feel like it can be too revealing. And this I do not want to spoil.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, moving on from characters and actors, visuals and costumes. Costumes, fair enough. Let's just get that out of the way. They were great.
Yes.
Wonder Woman, all the soldiers, Nazi and American alike. Even Ares getting his armor. Really cool. Awesome. Yeah.
When he did the thing with his fingers and made the eye. Oh, that was so
really
and the
cool.
swords.
So, costumes.
Yes.
Costumes are for sure. But visuals,
visuals. Okay.
Cinematography.
Themyscira, fucking gorgeous.
Great.
Absolutely
great
gorgeous. So bright. It's just this paradise that you just want to be at.
Everything Smallville should have been in Man of Steel.
Yes. And then, you have that where, the Nazis are coming through the barrier and, it's so dark and dingy and, you can really see the fog, everything going on.
Yeah.
And he looks through it, so bright. And then, all of the rest of the movie was that dark, dingy tone.
Yeah.
And, granted, it was pretty much overcast the entire time. There was snow. There was...
And we're talking about World War I Germany.
Yeah, so, it's not going to be a bright, happy place. But at the same time, I feel like they should have, toned up Wonder Woman's costume a little bit and stuff.
Now, if you think about No Man's Land, the brightest fucking thing is Wonder Woman's costume.
Yes.
When she's walking through that field.
Yeah, and it's so vivid and all that. But like I feel like there should have been like more of that color tone and the contrast of like her, this bright red and blue and gold symbol of hope in the middle of this, dark, barren, nasty everything.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that contrast could have been greater than it was at certain points.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but if you push it too far,
it would almost be
sloppy,
too much. But yeah, like the visuals, like the towns, the destruction of the town after No Man's Land.
Yeah.
The guys using the piece of a tank that was laying on the ground.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like No Man's Land.
No Man's Land is definitely my favorite part of this whole film.
If we're talking visually, like there was so much to look at and take in.
And she had to fight to get this one in, right?
Yeah. This was one of the scenes that Warner Brothers execs were wanting to cut.
Yeah.
And the director fought tooth and fucking nail to keep this in.
You hear that? The favorite fucking scene from the movie, Warner Brothers, was the one you didn't want.
Like there was all the barbed wire, there was all the traps, there was all the bodies, like just the destruction on this field, the craters from where all these mortars have hit.
And I do want to bring up the bodies a little bit because this movie was obviously toning it down as far as violence went. They were going very PG, even to the point, and if I watch it again, I'm sure I'll pick out more of these, but there's that part at the end where she stabs Ludendorff.
Yeah.
And then she's inside of the thing with the sword hanging in, there's no blood.
Yeah, I noticed that. Normally, any other movie, you would have like blood dripping from the tip of it.
So they played it very PG in that. And that kind of bothers me a little bit, but what bothered me more about the visuals in this is the Snyder zooms. The mid-action, like, slow-mo, and then all of a sudden, random zoom, and then slow-mo, and then real quick random zoom. And just, I feel like it takes you out of the action. If they had done that during No Man's Land, like when she's in that one room, and she's taking out, like, those fucking 8 guys just sliding on her shield, and she loses her swords, and she's using the whip, and, like, had they done that in that scene, it would have been awful.
Yeah.
But they didn't. But for some reason, like 90% of the Ares fight were these fucking like sun zooms.
Yeah.
And I hated it. Oh god, it was so distracting. It was awful. Ultimately, the visuals were all right. We're taking a step in the right direction.
Yeah. Whereas what we've been given versus in prior movies to what we got in this, we're going uphill.
Yeah, well, I think the greatest thing that we got in this movie that has been problematic in former movies is the story.
Yeah.
The story is really, really well intact, really tight. It's hard to pick anything out of this story that you hate. Like, at the beginning I said, maybe we could have spent more time watching her train.
One of the things I thought they did really well with this is bringing us to this story.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. It's a story from like current day, like not too long after Batman versus Superman, current day Diana Prince is telling us this story.
Yeah, because it starts out with her getting the picture from Bruce Wayne.
Maybe
the original,
it's time to tell my story.
Yeah, maybe it's time to tell my story. We hear the World War I story. And yeah, it's a really good linear story, and yeah, it doesn't have to play too hard to anything that's come before or anything that's like continuity-wise going to come after, and stuff. But still, it goes without saying that the story needs to be pointed out because it's like this is how you tell a story, and the way it affects the DCEU.
Well, I mean,
moving forward,
if you really think about it, how much is this story going to affect anything in the DCEU?
Well, there are quite a few things that could happen. I mean, Ares could always come back because, well, all right, she defeats the enemy. The movie's called Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's not going to die at the end. She defeats Ares. I don't remember if he dies or not. I don't think he dies. He could, maybe not.
I don't think you necessarily die. I don't think you can necessarily kill a god.
No, because in
but
the
she
movie they
beats
state
him.
so very many times that so very many gods have died. So
Well, yeah,
you can totally
by
kill a
Zeus's
god.
hand and Ares. Well,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
only a god can kill a god.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she actually killed
Well,
him or
in the
not.
comics, she does kill Ares.
Well,
becomes the god of war herself.
then she
So-
probably killed Ares.
She probably killed Ares. Fair enough. You know what? No, maybe this has honestly, this could stand apart from the DCEU completely.
This could be a complete.
aside from the
standalone.
first and last scene.
Yeah.
Totally standalone Wonder Woman movie. What a great Wonder Woman movie. So final thoughts overall. What do you think of this film after we've had a little back and forth here? Because you still had your rose-colored glasses on. I could tell.
I still stand by what I said. You know, obviously this is so far our best DC film we've gotten out of.
Of course, yeah.
Man of
I agree.
Steel's, BVS, all that. And I'm even going to go and say this is better than the Dark Knight trilogy that we got.
Maybe as a whole, if you take all three movies, put them together, and stack them against Wonder Woman, sure.
Like
the Dark Knight, though, definitely not better than that.
I'll give you that. But like the story of the Dark Knight trilogy versus the story we got in Wonder Woman, like you piece all the trilogy together, you have this. I think
that's a weird comparison.
Okay, that's fair. It's hard to compare three movies to one.
Yeah.
But, you know, still, this is the first DC movie in I don't know how long that has actually scored, high on both ends.
This movie beat 50 Shades of Grey for opening box office female director.
Really?
So, it's doing good there. I mean, it's selling better than Sex, and this has almost zero.
Well, no, it alludes to it happening.
We don't even get half-level Cinemax type sex.
We don't get side boob.
Yeah. So if this is selling better than a fucking fetish film, then yeah, we're doing something right here.
So all in all, true final thoughts. I love it. I'm gonna see it again. Next time, I may take my 6-year-old daughter to see it.
I took my 11-year-old son. He loved it.
And it's also one of those films, you know, I know people have had to see the picture by now. Like, the reason we need female superheroes is the little girl dressed as Wonder Woman looking up at the poster of Wonder Woman.
You know what, Matt? Alright, you know what? They pull this shit on us all the time. And this is, not an actual concern of mine. But what about the little boy dressed as Wonder Woman looking up at the poster? Huh? Where the fuck is he? Huh? Oh, would that be weird? Would that be taboo? Well, I'm sorry. Our gender normifications are... I can't finish that. No, fuck that. Anyways, I think this movie is good, not great. It is... stacked against other superhero movies and stacked against other movies in general, it toes the line. It's the best DCEU we've gotten, but that's not a high bar.
Yeah.
At all. So, really, this raised the bar, but only for
time.
the DCEU.
And that's the thing. I think the DCU has needed the bar raised.
Well, yeah, it did, but, I mean...
And this movie...
Honestly... I think it was kind of accident that this got it. I think they fought for the things that they wanted that would have ruined this movie, and then something happened over here, and something happened over there, and then the director fought for this, and then it just so happened to become a really good movie.
You know what I think it is? I think it's the fact that a director fought for their movie and won against the execs.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. This isn't an automatic buy for me. It'll probably be some time before I buy this one, but it was good.
I'll probably wait for it.
I'm happy it happened. It's definitely the best female superhero movie to ever come out. I'll give all credit where credit is due, but the DCEU has so much farther to go to really impress me. This doesn't impress me. This satisfies me. Right. Okay, Bob. You ready to come back in?
Man, Bob's been out there listening this whole time.
He was out there 15 minutes more than we said.
Shit.
Anyways, moving on from Wonder Woman, Justice League. The Justice League movie is going through huge reshoots. I shouldn't say huge because they haven't said huge.
No, they just said
I get
reshoots. But like,
I get the feeling it's huge reshoots.
But you know, it makes me happy to know, like, these reshoots are probably necessary reshoots for things to go better.
Well, okay,
most big budget movies like this will always have
there's a
reshoots.
little bit of story that reads into this that makes it kind of a mixed bag of why this is a good thing and why this is a bad thing. Okay, so just to take you back a while back, and honestly, I think it's tasteless maybe to say exactly what happened because I know exactly what happened with the Snyder family. Yeah. Suffice it to say, Zack Snyder's daughter.
He lost his daughter. Zack Snyder lost his daughter, and this was obviously a huge tragedy for the family. So instead of pushing forward, more importantly, instead of the studio making him push forward, the studio actually offered him, like I've read and heard multiple places, that the studio actually offered him that they would push back the release date. They would push back reshoots. Like, he could take as much time as he needed. They were willing to put this movie that not only, like, obviously some mixed reactions on some fans, but like for the most part, like, millions of fans have been waiting on. They spent millions of dollars on. They're willing to put everything on hold because of this incident. Which fucking kudos to fucking Warner Brothers.
And he graciously said, no, like we've got this where we've got this. I've got someone else in mind. Go ahead and move forward.
Yeah, and somebody else that just got on board with them.
Yeah,
like what better person? Honestly, with reshoots, like if people that actually enjoy Zack Snyder's vision are concerned that maybe this might water down his vision, it's not. Yeah. It's all already preset. Like, he's just going to be there to be a director there.
We're talking Joss Whedon here.
Yeah.
So it can't be bad.
Yeah. No, if anything, it'll do some good to it. But, like, for the most part, with these reshoots, he doesn't really have a whole lot of, like, involvement in it because it's already set in place.
Well, okay. Now, see, that's how things kind of work first. Mm-hmm. He was just supposed to come in and do pickup shots because that's all they really had left.
Yeah.
And that has evolved into actual reshoots. Like, pickup shots are just simple little things to get done to, like, tie this scene together, tie that scene together, who cares?
To kind of, like...
Yeah. Easy.
Trim all
they didn't need Joss Whedon for that.
No.
But now it has turned into full-on reshoots. Of course, the date is not going back, but these are going through all the way through June, July, and they're thinking maybe August as well. So, we're talking months of reshoots here. That's a lot.
And that's just months prior to the release date.
Yeah,
so,
that's a lot of reshoots. So, it's a mixed bag. Like, Scott Snyder, for all the professional faults I feel like he has.
Yeah.
All the things I've disenjoyed about his product. What happened to him, just imagining myself, like, I couldn't live after that.
I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy.
No. So I'm really glad Joss Whedon is having a big hand in some heavy reshoots, seemingly heavy.
I hate that it has to be on these kinds.
If I had to pick a way for it to happen, I wouldn't have picked this one. I would have just taken whatever Scott Snyder had for us, or Zack Snyder.
Hey, Scott Snyder would be awesome.
There are too many Snyders. But at the same time, this is the hand that was dealt to this product, and I
guess what better person to take it over, right?
The only silver linings is that if it had to be taken over by somebody, and it's still going to be heavily Scott Snyder, so Snyder's vision is Zack Snyder's vision is still going to be heavily realized. So that's where we stand with the Justice League film. Seeing the trailer, I feel like we've already talked about this on here. Seeing the trailer, I feel like this, even with Joss Whedon coming in, it's going to be a bad movie. Joss Whedon may make it less terrible, but speaking objectively and not biasedly, not taking the Snyder family tragedy into account,
Yeah.
I think this is still going to be a bad movie. But less bad than it was going to be before. And still going to have those awesome moments like Aquaman launching off the Batmobile to take out a friggin' parademon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a mixed bag all the way around, no matter how you look at it. Tragedy or not. And speaking of tragedy, that brings us into the thing we want to close out our podcast with. This just happened today as of recording, 2 days ago if you're listening to this. We'd like to say a tribute and farewell to not the first on-screen Batman, but everyone's
first
on-screen Batman. Yeah,
and
that
he
is-
liked to proclaim himself as, I've heard him say multiple times in interviews, you know, we have the Dark Knight, he is the Bright Knight.
The Bright Knight. Yeah.
Motherfucking Adam
You
West.
said that in text, and I knew you didn't make it up,
No.
but like it was the first time I ever heard it, and it's just great. Yeah, today, still unknown to us. I'm sure it has to have come out by now.
Probably.
We don't know how he passed away, but at 88, you have to assume it was natural causes, just something, you know, he was an old man.
Bet it was a shark.
That was a goddamn
Shark
forgot
repellent.
his
and
shark
not-
repellent.
Fucking Robin. Goddamn it, Bert.
Bert!
Cancer.
Cancer.
No shit. I didn't know he had cancer.
Yeah.
Did
he
he know
did
he had
not
cancer?
make that public.
Died Friday night after a short but brave battle with leukemia.
Wow. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why the new 66 animated movie happened. So he felt like maybe he had to put
Dude,
one
I mean,
more sting on
they
it.
had plans on doing more and everything. I
Really?
don't know, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Dude, Adam West was, and we kind of talked about this off mic, but like, for the most part, like, my number one childhood Batman was always Michael Keaton, because I wore that 89 Batman VHS
Yeah.
out, man. But before we owned the 89 Batman movie on VHS, I was always able to catch reruns of the 66 Batman show. And of course, like, Batman by that point was kind of one of those things, like, it was always around. I don't ever remember a distinctive point where I first remember seeing Batman, whether the show, movie, the symbol, anything. Couldn't tell you the first time. But some of my earliest memories of Batman, especially the first time I ever seen him on screen, was reruns of the fucking 66 Dozier, Adam West Batman show. I mentioned to Odle earlier, like, Adam West kind of seems like he was that uncle that would come by and visit every so often, but you're always so excited for. Like, he was, always so cheery and shit, and like, he was that cool uncle. That's what he felt like to me watching him. Like, watching him as Bruce Wayne and everything. And then, of course, as we get older, he's a fucking voice on Family Guy. Like, I seen him pop up on Space Ghost, Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
A bunch of different things. And, of course, he wound up doing guest voices in, like, Batman animated series as a Grey Ghost, Batman Brave and the Bold.
One of my
He
favorite
was Thomas
episodes.
Wayne, which I thought was a great episode. They had him as Thomas Wayne, Julie Newmar as Martha Wayne, Mark Hamill as a Spectre. I don't know, but I know that Kim Conroy was in that episode and everything else. But it was just, he's been busy. And not to mention, like, the 66 Batman animated movie. Adam West has been around as long as I can remember, as Batman. This is kind of like when we lost Leia, when we lost Carrie.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do now.
This doesn't seem
it doesn't
right.
feel right,
Like,
no.
yeah.
It's like whenever you sent me that message and initially telling me about Adam West and that you would let me go ahead and do the post, I had no idea yet. And that's what I was saying off mic earlier, was like, whenever I say, like, oh my God, are you serious? It's not that I don't believe you. I think you're just be like, oh no, I'm just fucking with you, man.
Yeah.
Because that's fucked up.
Yeah.
It'd be like, hey, guess what? Harrison Ford died. Haha. Bye, Han. So whenever I say, oh my God, are you serious? It wasn't a real question. It was like, I didn't want you to be serious.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, I was on the way, for a family event with the kids and stuff. And like, I legitimately started like shedding a tear. And I told Becky, I was like, this is like, I feel worse than what I did when some of my relatives have died. Like, this is one of those, like, this was definitely like a first world type thing, I guess. Entertainers that we've had throughout our whole lives.
Yeah.
And you could probably name a few, like Robin Williams is a big one for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was my childhood for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, comedy in my childhood was Jim Carrey, Ron Williams. You know what I mean? So losing one of those icons was devastating to me. But like being a huge Batman fan, as big of a Batman fan as I am, and like always defending the 66 show. You know what I mean? Like constantly.
Especially with me. And
Yeah.
like, and now that he's died, I feel a little bad about it.
No, not at all.
I mean,
But,
my opinion still stays the same. It was just always, I never said that it was crap. You know,
No.
I never said that it was bad. I just
like in comparison to what we're able to
kind
have now and what we're offering
And
now,
as a-
yes, it is kind of crap. But
well, as a kid, I had Michael Keaton as well, prominent Batman,
Yeah.
and the only Adam West thing I ever saw as a kid was the movie. And the movie
is
it was
as cheesy as it can
pretty
get. Yeah.
friggin' cheesy, pretty campy.
And especially if you're first introduced to Michael Keaton and you know, the Tim
Yeah,
Burton
and that's
Batmans,
exactly how
and
that
then
happened.
you go back and see the 60s, it's a huge difference. Huge
And
difference.
then over the years, I saw a few episodes and stuff, and I never regarded them as bad. It just wasn't for me. I knew I was watching something that could be loved,
It just
couldn't be by me.
yeah, like you could see, like, okay, I appreciate this. I can see how
I appreciate his
like,
contributions to Batman
exactly.
too, because at the time, like they needed to save the character.
exactly, and that show made Batman a pop culture
Oh, yeah.
icon from there on
Household
out.
name.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's exactly household.
And so
name.
I appreciate it for that, for sure.
Just the merchandise from that show, and the show was only in running for 2 years, two
Yeah.
seasons plus a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it left such a big impact because it was something different. It was like visually, it was very colorful, very like the bang pals, and then not only that,
Yeah.
but just the backgrounds, the villains, the heroes themselves, very colorful. In the movie, what was it? A mattress convention? Whenever the helicopter was crashing, and how convenient, you know?
Yeah.
And they vaporize all the world leaders.
See, and that's the thing. I can't remember the last time I watched the movie. I feel
It's
like
been
if
a
I
couple
watch the
years for
movie
me.
now, even if he hadn't died, if I watch the movie now, I definitely have a good time. Because
Yeah.
I know it's silly. I remember parts
Yeah.
of it. It's definitely silly.
Here's something I want you to try. Watch a couple episodes or even the movie of the 66 Batman. And then watch Batman and Robin. And get in the mindset that this is a high-budget 66 Batman movie. And I'm
I
telling you,
don't
you will
even have
enjoy
to.
it so much more. To the point they legitimately even do the Dutch tilt with the camera.
Don't
angles.
even have to, because I watched the Batman and Robin Nostalgia Critic review, and he got to the point in Mr. Freeze's hideout,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Here, I'll do something to refresh your memory of what this might be playing on." And then he takes the scene back to the beginning from where he started playing it, and he adds in the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun,
Yeah.
the whole thing. And he
But
adds
if
in
you
pals
think
and
about
bits.
that movie, or
Yeah.
that whole movie, it's like, think of all the cheesy puns,
Yeah.
all the over-the-top costumes and layers and
It
shit.
is.
Like, it's Bill Dozier's fucking 66 show. But take Adam West out, throw in George Clooney. Take out Burt Ward,
no.
throw in fucking Chris O'Donnell. I'm telling you,
No, I'm
watch
sorry,
it now.
It's still fucking
Watch it
awful.
now. It is awful.
It's
It's absolutely awful. But watch it and look at it and be like, oh my god, that's exactly what that is.
No,
It's like a love child between Bill Dozier's Batman and Tim Burton's Batman.
I've seen it since
Yeah.
seeing that Nostalgia Critic review and thought of it that way. I'm still just, no, fuck this movie. I'm good.
You tell me you don't like the Batgirl in that movie. I mean, she was perfect.
Alicia Silverstone, she's a terrible fucking Batgirl. She's hot, though. Definitely hot.
She's a terrible actress in general, let alone a terrible Batgirl.
Yeah. No doubt we lost a big name. Like, I mean, Family Guy fans alone
Yeah.
are going to be missing this, because Adam West, Mayor
Mary
Adam
West
West
was a huge
was
character.
hilarious. I always loved him. Nobody messes with Adam Wee.
With the fucking light bright.
Yes. So we're missing that, and I guess you said there were supposed to be more 66 animated films, and the first one, from what I could tell, did well. So,
And I suggest going back and listen to some of the Adam West podcasts from like Fat Man on Batman and stuff.
I would love to listen to that. Like, and not being a fan of 66, even moving past this, it's still just listening to Kevin Smith talk to Adam West. Just something I want to hear.
Yes. Also, obviously, has nothing to do with this, but Kevin Smith and the Mark Hamill ones. Some of the early, like I think it's one of the first couple episodes of Batman. Definitely go back and listen to that one.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do that. I'm kind of working through Nerdist right now. Some of the older episodes.
There's like 800 or some episodes right now.
So
they released, it's like Joe Rogan.
Well,
podcast,
they started in
released
2010.
so many. Dude, Smodcast, which was Kevin Smith, Scott Mosier's first one. They're celebrating 10 years right now.
Yeah.
Them, Joe Rogan, Adam, what's his name from Man Show?
Adam Carolla.
Carolla, yeah. Like, they've been some of the longest running fucking podcasts pretty much since podcast started.
Makes sense. Because I've heard a few podcasts talk about Adam Carolla as a
Carolla, and like I said, Kevin Smith and Joe Rogan. They're all probably some of the longest running podcasts.
We definitely say goodbye to a major player in the game, someone who made Batman what he is today. Because if they hadn't saved him, who knows what would have happened. Yeah. If they hadn't popularized Batman at that time, that character could have gone away. Because, I mean, at that time, you read some of those comics, and that guy is just a silly dude in a bat suit murdering people.
And that's the thing, that show, at the time of the comics and the show came out at the same time, he was actually very comic book accurate to what Batman was shown as in the comics for that time.
Well, yeah,
which was very.
I say murdering people. At that time, they did start to try and transition.
They didn't start. They were already at that point where it's like they started doing those. What was it? Super Friends comics.
Yeah,
Superman like playing baseball. Like he's very smiley.
It wasn't working, and they made the TV show, and all of a sudden it started working. And
you know what gives a really good homage to the 66 show and like Batman of that era is the Batman Brave and the Bold animated show. I brought it up earlier.
Yeah. Like
very underrated, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and I always put it off for the longest time because it's like, it's smiley Batman. It's very child oriented looking, you know. And like, it's more for, toddlers and shit. But after watching it, dude, I've only watched a couple episodes of it. First off, Diedrich Bader, the guy who plays the next door neighbor in Office Space. He plays in Beverly Hillbillies, Drew Carey show.
Okay.
He does the voice of Batman in that show. Fucking is the perfect mix of
he's the voice of Batman in that
almost
show?
the perfect mix of like Kevin Conroy and fucking Adam West combined. Which is perfect because it's the animated Batman, but he looks a lot like 66 Batman.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, they do guest voices with Adam West, Julie Newmar, Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy. And they have everybody from Batmite in here. Like, apparently the season finale, or the series finale, which includes Batmite, like, is said by a few people, including Kevin Smith, who cries at a fucking, like, commercial, which he's admitted to. He said it's a very emotional, like, series finale, but it's very, like, it gives you closure and everything. And, like, it makes you feel good. Like, that's a good way of ending it. Like, it's one of those shows I definitely want to go back and watch now.
Yeah. Well, I have kind of wanted to watch that because I've heard great things about it. But the best way I think we can end this story is raise our various glasses. Bob, what do you got left?
I'm the alcoholic of the group.
So my God, you're out.
Right.
I got a little bit of a shot. I got like a sip of this shot and like a sip of a beer.
I got a little bit of.
I'll combine them.
I got a little bit of Fireball. Odle's got a Cherry Coke Zero.
Ready to drive.
The bright night. It's a dark night in Gotham tonight, boys.
You were the hero we deserved.
Yes.
All right.
Holy nerdy podcast, Batman.
So, wrapping it up. Guys, we got 2 episodes of serious shit out right now. As of recording this, we actually have a few in the bank now, so that shit's gonna come out. You can also see a new Alpha's unboxing and a Suge Knights Live on the Sorta My Comics Facebook page. We're doing kind of a YouTube revival where you're actually gonna end up seeing Alpha's unboxing, Suge Knights Live, and all these podcasts. I just have a few more things to finalize, a few more videos to go through, a couple more things to retweak, delete. I've started monetizing our videos because we qualified for it.
I don't know what that means, but I'm excited.
We're very close to another little program. I don't want to talk about it because it requires detail right now. But if
Does it involve food?
we're at like 9,500 views channel wide so far, and another 500 views, and we qualify for this. And I feel like adding these podcasts and bringing back Edible Obscurities, that's going to get us there in no time. But, it's a thing. We might have a budget soon, guys.
I could start dancing.
Oh, my God. We're going to spend it all on equipment. None of us will see a fucking dime.
Hell yeah. I said we spend it on blackjack and hookers.
Well, let's just have the blackjack. Screw the whole thing.
Like East End hookers are cheap.
Did you get the reference you were making?
Yeah, I was making a Futurama reference.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying, East End hookers are cheap.
Fair enough. Yeah, we are in a pretty shitty town.
Yeah.
If you guys want to check out that YouTube channel, it is Sorta My Brand on, YouTube. Guys, you can also like us on Facebook at Sorta My Brand and Sorta My Comics. You can find Sorta My Podcast on Instagram and Twitter, which I'm pretty ready to give up on. Odle says he swears he's getting better at it.
I'm the Twitter guy here.
I will continue to advertise the new episodes of whatever podcast we're doing on there, but I refuse to post stories anymore. I'm done. I can't keep up with it. If Odle can really bring it around, it might actually help us. It's all on him. So
Yeah, Odle.
yeah, Odle.
Yeah, Odle.
Hey, you need to get on top of the Instagram.
There's not much you can post to Instagram though. He took 2
I
pictures
just have to take
tonight.
pictures. It's really good.
I told him to hold one of the pictures he took tonight a few weeks until I released the episode. So he has one he can post immediately, one he has to sit on.
Oh,
Like that's about the bulk of what he can do, and then I'll post something when this.
I'll probably
episode is
post
up.
something for Adam West on there.
Odle, you're supposed to be posting news stories. You're supposed to be on there daily.
Yeah. Burn.
Shut up. You guys have to be listening to this somewhere for some reason, whether it's iTunes or SoundCloud. Follow us on there, comment. Let us know what you think about the show, whether you disagree with what we said, whether you thought how we performed was crap, whether you liked it. Definitely tell us if you just listened to it. It's always not, we're all human. We all want self-gratification.
I just want to know if anybody else besides us and my mother listened to this.
Right.
Hey.
Well, most episodes get about 12 to 15 views, sort of my podcast-wise.
One of them's me. So
One of each of us is definitely one of those. So we're at least getting 10 other people.
Well, I have a
Give or take.
coworker who's going to start listening to us too.
I've had like 12 coworkers that said they were going to start listening to us. I don't know.
Maybe that's who our listeners
I don't
are.
know of one that actually has. So, thank you guys very much for listening. My name has been the human Vincent Herman.
Boba Fett, Bob Collins.
Alpha Spectre, James Odle.
This has been sort of my podcast, and cue that badass
Outro music.
Thank you. Ow! Where's my mouse?